Oh, the weather outside.
Hey everyone, we are back in action today, quite literally, because we are talking about, for its 35th anniversary and re-release in theaters, Die Hard, directed by John McTiernan, starring Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, Alexander Godunov, and Bonnie Bedelia, amongst many, many other famous actors that you may recognize from the 80s. This film obviously follows John McClane as he unwittingly gets involved in this terrorist takeover of Nakatomi Plaza as he visits his wife on Christmas Eve. You all know the story. I'm sure most of you love it. Obviously, when we did the top 100 greatest films of all time series earlier this year, Die Hard indeed made the cut. The only other Christmas movie on the list besides It's a Wonderful Life, which obviously is my favorite film of all time, and as much as I love that film, I have to end this debate right now. Die Hard is more of a Christmas movie than It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, I am sorry, but there's only, like one section of that movie that takes place at Christmas, where Die Hard, it's centered completely around Christmas, and I cannot stress how much this is a Christmas movie, the best Christmas movie of all time after It's a Wonderful Life, I think without question, and one of the greatest action movies ever made. And obviously the thing that puts this above all the other action films in the 80s is its terrific screenplay, which is honestly pitch perfect from top to bottom. There isn't a single thing about this movie that isn't airtight, and obviously I'm going to get into spoilers a bit here. You should know that. Click on any classic review on my channel that is more than likely to be the case. But the thing I absolutely love is how every single little detail is paid with so much attention. Like, even when, for example, when Bruce Willis as John McClane gets the lighter out of the bag when he takes out the first of Hans's henchmen, and he puts it in his pocket and then it comes back in the ventilation shaft, or maybe one of the best examples of how these setups are so perfectly planted and paid off in so many ways. I absolutely love how in Holly's office at the beginning, when he finds out so brilliantly that she is using her maiden name at the company, and they cut to her office and she puts down the picture of him and her family face down on the table. It's such a great character moment because it says a lot about where him and her are in their relationship, but little do you know how much it factors into the actual story and screenplay when Hans Gruber finally goes in and infiltrates her office, and the fact that that is face down, he doesn't realize that the two of them are related. It is so brilliant, and it's so subtle in a lot of ways because it's one of those things you don't think about twice, because it's such a powerful character moment, but it also is in service to the actual plot of the film. And I absolutely love writing like that that is littered all throughout this movie, and I think that's what really makes it stand out. But of course, the characters, I mean, come on. John McClane is one of the greatest heroes of all time, one of the greatest action heroes, and Bruce Willis brings so much charisma, emotion, everything that you could ask for, physicality. This man has it all in this role, and rightfully broke him out into the sphere of Hollywood because he was known for moonlighting before this, and he really wasn't a film star in the slightest, and the fact that he pulled this off with such flying colors is absolutely amazing, and really sad to see where Bruce Willis is now in his life, just seeing what he was capable of here, and to think that most of that has been taken away from this man is really unfortunate and depressing. But obviously what he committed to celluloid here is nothing short of miraculous, and I think is one of his absolute best performances still to this day. As is Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber in this, who, my goodness, why didn't this guy get an Oscar nomination for this? Hans Gruber is one of the greatest villains of all time in any movie. I'm going to be retreading some of the same stuff I said in the top 100 countdown, but I mean, come on, this guy is so intimidating, he's so smart, but yet he's motivated by something so simple, and the fact that the writers are able to give Hans Gruber so much depth, especially the psychological dynamic between him and John throughout the entirety of the film, but especially when it comes to head finally in the scene where he fakes being one of the hostages, and it's this game of wits between the two of them, and you see John giving him the gun and kind of gaining his trust until he one-ups him and fires and he goes, no bullets, such a great moment. And yet again, it's this cat and mouse chase between the two of them, as he says, the fly in the ointment. It is such a great dynamic, and I don't think if the two of them worked as well, it would have been as effective as a film. But since it's all written there, sketched in stone, it really was able to be brought to life by such a talented group of people. And the other thing that is so great about this film, besides the lead characters, is the entire supporting cast. Like, all these characters are so well fleshed out. You know them and you love them, especially Al, played by Reginald Vell Johnson, who is an absolute standout in this film. My goodness, as soon as it gets introduced, walking into that gas station with all the Twinkies, you know you're in for something. And of course, Bonnie Bedelia as Holly McClane is such a phenomenal presence in this film. And I think, obviously, her dynamic with John in this is really the heart of the film. Because as much as this is about these amazing action set pieces and this hostage takeover, and what is the next step that John has to do next to one-up these guys with such a limited amount of resources, it's really a story about a man reckoning with the fact that he owes his wife an apology and how much he truly loves her. And yet again, Bruce Willis in the third act, when he finally realizes this and he's like saying to Al, he's like, tell my wife all of this. And he said, she's heard me say I love her plenty of times, but she's never heard me say I'm sorry. That is just one phenomenal line out of so many. This is such a quotable movie. And yet again, it's all the supporting characters. You gotta love Argyle in this, the limo driver. There's so many great interactions with him, so many great lines. Of course, Theo, yet again, rest in peace, the actor who played him. He brings such a great sense of humor in such a sadistic and apathetic way. Of course, one of my favorite lines, oh my god, and the quarterback is toast. There's just one line after the next in this film is absolute gold. Of course, you gotta love when John McClane is on the roof and he's like trying to get through the line, the emergency line, and she's like, so this line is reserved for emergencies only. He's like, what do you think I'm fucking doing, lady? Ordering a pizza? And of course, the ever so iconic line that everybody knows and loves from this film, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. I mean, you don't get better than that. Yet again, another great character, Ellis, who thinks he's God's greatest gift to man. Such a complete narcissist in the best way possible. Just absolutely amazing when he's on screen. Yet again, there's something about all these characters that is so memorable. I'd be remiss not to even mention the two Agent Johnsons from the FBI who have to, specify not relation. Then another great interaction, just like Saigon, eh, Slick? I was in junior high, dickhead. Yet again, it's a never-ending stream of one-liners mixed with really profound character depth, just thrown into this amazing package that's exhilarating, it's exciting, it's psychological, it's emotionally satisfying. And of course, I mean, it's not Christmas until you see Hans Gruber get thrown off of Nakatomi Plaza. I mean, such a great way to end this amazing battle of wits that is taking place throughout this entire film. But if, you had to criticize anything, because honestly, I don't really. I know a lot of people go back to the Paul Gleason character, who's this, relentless deputy asshole who doesn't really believe anything that's going on and second guesses everything going on inside the building and just kind of comes off as a buffoon. Yet again, it's not enough to even criticize this film, because I know Ebert did not like this movie, and I love Roger Ebert, but I think he was completely wrong in his take on this film. For such a small character to bring down this entire narrative is a bit ridiculous, if you ask me. And yet again, you have to wonder how Carl survives at the end of the film and tries to kill John McClane. But then again, that moment is in great service to Al's character arc, who obviously, you know, is become a beat cop, you know, doing paperwork. Essentially, he's been reduced to that role because he accidentally shot a kid on duty. And to see him kill him in that moment, it's such a great and powerful moment of catharsis for his character. Because every time that moment happens, I just want to get up and cheer, go, yes! I mean, it's just one of those moments that's so emotionally gratifying. You can't imagine the movie without it. It ends on such a perfect note. The two spouses renewing this love for one another, and them and Argyle riding off into the Christmas morning to let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. You don't get better than this. I think I have said as much as I want to say about this film, because I think most has already been said and I've already covered some ground myself on this topic. But it's just, how can you not love this absolute seminal Christmas classic, this absolute masterpiece of cinema just in general, but especially in the action blockbuster filmmaking. It's crazy that this film didn't take off as much as you would have thought originally, and it really gained status over time, because this honestly should have won Best Picture. I mean, come on. Can you disagree with me? This is such a iconic film that it's hard to look back and think that this wasn't even considered for a screenplay nomination. This is one of the greatest scripts ever written, and I will die on that hill. That's not a pun at all. I didn't use hard or anything. But yet again, this is such an amazing film, and I'm going to give Die Hard, obviously, a 10 out of 10. Absolute classic in the most profound way that I can possibly describe one. It's just, every time I watch it, it's just so exciting. It's hysterical, it's moving. Everything that you want from a movie is in Die Hard. It is just, it's cinema. I mean, what else can I say about this absolute classic? I know you guys all love it, I'm assuming, for the most part. But let me know down in the comments below what you think of Die Hard from 1988. Is this a Christmas classic that you have to watch every single year? I try to get around to it at least every other year. It's so great, though. I could watch it every year and I'd be absolutely okay with that. But let me know what you guys think. And of course, smash the like button and subscribe if you're tuning in for the first time. Don't know if there's going to be more Christmas movie reviews, but there's certainly going to be a few reviews, especially in the heat of award season. This year keeps picking up, and I really don't know what it's going to end up looking like by the end of this year and going into beginning of next with the staggered releases of things. But of course, expect my review for Wonka coming very soon, as well as another movie that I just watched recently from this year that I think you all should check out. So yeah, guys, take it easy until then, and I'll talk to you in the next video.
And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.